Guess who's back, back, back? Sinead's back, back, back. So it's been a good year since I've uploaded anything on my channel, but I have decided, why am I uploading any content when I've got all the time in the world? So here we are. I love helping people. I love the endo girls, and if my experience can help you, then why am I not sharing it? I'm going to talk about my endometriosis story, my diagnosis, leading up till now. I did upload a video probably 2 years ago now, talking about it. So I thought I'd refresh. It was awful quality and I'm a lot more confident in speaking now. So it all started when I had my first period, age 11. God, I remember that pain. So young. It scares me that how young I was. But it all started then. Growing up was extremely difficult, not knowing what's wrong with you, experiencing pain that strong when everyone else seems normal. And it just, I remember thinking, like, does everyone else feel this pain? Is it just me? Like, what's going on? Anyway, I started the pill when I was 12, 13 years old. I wasn't sexually active. It was just the only thing the doctor could offer me at the time to control my period, because it was really heavy, really heavy. I was going through sanitary towels like so quickly. I had a lot of my pain in my lower back area. So when I'd gone to the doctors, they were like, oh, physiotherapist, chiropractor, it's your spine. And I was like, okay. So years and years and years, I was going back and forth to them and it's just nothing was helping. I then turned into a little bit of a nutter, psychopath, because of my pill. And I fell with a deep depression and anxiety throughout my school years. Which was really difficult, really difficult. I will do another vlog on my mental health, but I don't want to go into that right now, not right this second, but I did become suicidal. But anyway, that's another story. God, that's thrown me off a little bit. So anyway, moving from that stage that completely threw me off what I was talking about, because I still find it very hard to talk about. Okay, so after tons of trips to the doctors, hundreds of trips to A&E, back and forth from hospital, not knowing what's wrong with me, and obviously I still got no help. It wasn't until I was 18 I took myself to a sexual health clinic. And of course they've done, you know, your standard routine checks for STIs, which all came back clear. I was then diagnosed with pelvic inflammation disease, and I was treated 16 weeks straight with antibiotics. God, I remember how rough that made me feel. It was just non-stop, non-fucking stop, sorry to swear. I remember I was rushed to A&E and because of pain, and I said, I can't take these antibiotics, they're not helping me, they're just making me feel rough. And this woman actually looked at me and she said, do you want to have kids? And I said, of course I do. She said, well, I suggest you take them antibiotics then, because if you're not going to treat yourself, then you're going to make yourself infertile. I was told that when I was 18, sat in a hospital in A&E on my own, in absolutely pieces. Like, God, I literally remember that feeling of how I felt, and I was just crying my eyes out. It was awful. So yeah, the next step was they realised obviously the PDI tablets weren't helping me. Bearing in mind they told me I had it, and they were like, oh, if you're having sex at this minute, you need to tell the guy you're sleeping with, or girl, so they have to be treated with antibiotics too. Now, how embarrassing is that? Well, I'm sorry, I've got something called pelvic inflammation disease. It's not an STI, but you need to take antibiotics. Like, thankfully, he didn't care, but God, it was, I remember the feeling, I felt so embarrassed. But anyway, I then went back. Obviously they realised I don't have pelvic inflammation disease, these tablets aren't helping me. I then saw a consultant who then put me forward to having a laparoscopy. I was then diagnosed with endometriosis, and now I remember how scared I was for my laparoscopy. God, I'm scared always for stuff like that. The craziest thoughts entered my head, like, am I gonna feel this pain but not be awake? Like, what if? And all these like hundred things were blowing through my head, and I'm like, what's gonna happen? But obviously I woke up, they told me I had something called endometriosis. Absolutely no idea what it was. Just like, okay, sweet. He's told me I've got 3 parts of it along my pelvis. He's removed it, and I'm better. So I've gone home, had my recovery, painful, slow, but got there recovery. And I felt over the moon. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a normal person. I'm gonna feel so normal and alive and just great. Anyway, 3 years went past. 3 years? Okay. 3 months went past, and I've then found out it is a reoccurring illness. And my God, I remember that pain came back, and I was just like, here we are, we're back to square one. The pain is here and nothing's gonna help me. God. And again, back and forth to the doctors, fighting for help, needing that help. And then I paid privately to get a smear test, because they wouldn't give me one because I wasn't 25 and over. And he didn't end up doing me a smear test, but I did break down to him, and he put me forward, and I had another laparoscopy with him. And there we go, back to being in the hospital, going in for my 2nd laparoscopy for endometriosis in a year. And again, those feelings came back. I don't think you ever get rid of that nerve feeling of going in for an operation, not knowing the outcome, and just not knowing. It's horrible, and it's such an invasive thing. Like, they're going in and they're like fiddling around where your womb and your ovaries are, and it's just like, no one should be doing that except a child inside me. But anyway, went in, endometriosis had grown back, and he then removed it again. And now I've missed out so much stuff thinking about it, but you know, growing up I was told to have a child, it will get rid of my endometriosis. I was told to have a hysterectomy, and that I like, won't be able to have children. There's so many different things out there that I've been told to do whilst living with endometriosis, and I'm so grateful that I am such a strong-minded person, and I have the privilege of knowing so much information to do with endometriosis due to writing a blog and having support groups and Instagram and everything like that. I feel very grateful for that, because if I didn't, I 100% would have gone down one of them routes, because that feels like my only avenue. Currently, I was told not 3 months ago, it's ages ago now, I was told last October to be put on early menopause. Like, I'm 23. No, I want kids. I want a family. And I know it's difficult for someone with endometriosis to potentially have a family of their own, but I will fight my arse off until I get it. So yeah, oh, fuck my life. I'm back. As you can tell, I struggle a lot talking about my mental health and infertility. Yeah. Endometriosis affects 1 in 10 women during their reproductive years. It's mentally, physically and emotionally draining. People think I'm this positive Polly and I'm so happy, but don't get me wrong, I am, and I am more on that side than anything. But I struggle really bad days where I can't get out of bed. I can't get out of bed, I don't answer my phone, I don't want to talk to anyone, I just want to disappear. I just want it I just want it all to stop. Just switch off. So that's my story, literally crammed in. I've probably forgotten a lot of things, like for instance, 2016 I didn't have a sex life because of my endometriosis, and vulvodynia and the pain took over and it made me sick. But because I'm back and I'm going to be uploading content so much more frequently now, then I will cover literally everything that you need to know, want to know, or you might not even give a shit about, but that's why I'm here. So I just want to quickly say that keep fighting, keep smashing it. You're still here. Be grateful that you're still waking up every day, and even if you feel like absolutely written off, if you can manage to get out of bed and go to the toilet or just change your pajamas, that is a massive positive, and you need to like keep hold of that positive and not let them negative feelings take over completely. I'm not going to waffle on, but I just want to say that I'm sending my love. I understand your pain and I'm here whenever you need to speak to me, reach out. You've got my Facebook support groups, which are called Nay Endo Sister, one public, one private, with women only, 24/7 usage of women all over the world. You've also got my Instagram, which is just Sinead Smythe, which I do live videos, questions. I sometimes get through my inbox, not always because it's so rammed, but I do try, and that's why I do questions. But there's so many ways we can interact with each other and get through this horrible illness and show people that we're not lying. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I think that's what they say.